KT ROLSTER is rumored to be disbanding their StarCraft 2 division. Rumors started this week after an article was posted to the Korean website Play163. The article cited a KT insider as the source of this information and also referenced the closure of KT's StarCraft 2 team house. Earlier today, longtime KT member Stats announced that they were simply moving to a new team house, poking significant holes into any rumors that might have been spread. The fact that these rumors were flying for literally, I think less than 24 hours before something contradictory came out is really funny and disappointing at the same time. It's more disappointing than it is funny. I was really disappointed to hear all of the community outpouring on this topic. It was all negative towards not the idea that KT would be closing, but it was all negative towards WCS and the people behind WCS and the foreign scene and Blizzard. It wasn't even 24 hours before Stats came out and said, we're just moving to a new team house. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know. I would assume that it is. If Stats did say that, I think Stats would know. Stats has been a member of KT since 2009. But it's disappointing to see the community that I love so much pounce on any little tidbit of bad news and almost celebrate it. It's not good. You shouldn't jump on rumors as fact and then just use them to hate on whatever it is that you don't like. If KT closes down, if SKT closes down, if Pro League doesn't exist and SSL pulls out, guys, there are a lot of reasons for that, and it's not just Blizzard locking WCS. That's not it. And if you're tunnel visioning in on that, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. That's it. You're just wrong. We have so many people at the top of the community chain, the top of the food chain, saying that's wrong. People who know better than anyone else would. And if you don't trust those people, if you don't believe those people when they tell you what they know, then I don't know. I don't know what to say. And it's disappointing that that's the point that we seem to be at with not a majority of people, but a large portion of fans in the StarCraft 2 community. And it's not doing us any favors. It's not doing Korea any favors. So please, stop. This is my request. Please, just take a beat. Let's look at the rumors objectively. And let's move forward as a community with some rationale and not just really, really big outpourings of emotion, because it doesn't usually pay off for any of us. And I will say, too, it also feels unfortunately dangerous to talk about anything positive at this point, to say that, it's not WCS's fault, or to say that it's not Blizzard's fault. And that's not good either. You never want to be in a position where a conflicting opinion is so suppressed that it feels like you're going to be hated on just for saying it. So just keep that in mind. Team Liquid has announced their expansion into Major League Sports, partnering with the owners of such prolific teams as the Washington Capitals, the Golden State Warriors, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and many, many, many more teams. Team Liquid is the second esports organization to expand into the world of professional sports, hot on the heels of Team Dignitas, who will be launching their own NBA division with a partnership with the Philadelphia 76ers. We're still waiting for news as to when the team houses will be opened up for the new TL rosters, and hopefully the TL Pro website will update with player profiles for all 120 plus new additions to Team Liquid. Obviously, I'm having some fun with this. Team Liquid and Dignitas are not expanding into the NBA themselves. Rather, TL and Dig have been purchased by some rather influential members of the professional sports environments. All the teams that I listed, those are all teams that are in the same realm as Team Liquid now. They're owned by the same people. Team Liquid sold controlling shares. With Team Dignitas, they're melding with Apex Esports, an LCS division team, and reportedly the deal there was for $5 to $15 million, although it's not public, it's not disclosed. This is really nothing but good news for esports in general. There's no other way to look at it, and I'm so proud of Team Liquid. I have no right to be proud, I have no ownership of that, but I'm so happy that the little website, the little team, the little StarCraft organization from way back in the day could grow to this point where Team Liquid is now forging the way for esports in general with PEA, with this buyout. They have teams, they have rosters in pretty much anything that you can think of, and it's great, it's so exciting. In the world of player and team transactions, Root OSC has acquired Neuro and Wardy. Psystorm has picked up the Russian Protoss Strange. And Team Expert will be announcing a new Korean player tomorrow, October 1st. In similar news, caster Ravi Feardragon Parikh has announced his departure from Base Trade TV. So let's talk a little bit about some of this news. Let's analyze it a bit. Root is an organization who in the past I've been a little critical of for picking up so many personalities and so many players. I believe there was one episode of Please Pause where I talked a little bit about maybe slow back there now, Root. But in this case, for Neuro and Wardy, I think those are smart pickups. Obviously, they're not going to be main stage players in WCS for Root, but they do provide some eyes on Root as a brand for streaming. Wardy is a great up-and-coming caster. Wardy's been making tremendous inroads in the British esports scene on large. And Neuro is somebody who's been around for years, who's grown himself as a personality in the scene from the bottom to where he is now. Seems hungry for more success. Both of these guys get good numbers for Twitch, YouTube, that kind of thing, and can help grow a casual fan base for Root. Not that they don't have any casual fans already. Root's a huge organization for StarCraft. And Katz actually responded to a comment on the Reddit thread announcing this, just talking about what players get from signing with Root. And it's very much, he talked a lot about Twitch benefits, higher ad revenue, more sub money, that kind of thing. So that's great. That's both where these guys live, that's their world. I imagine that's a large part of where their StarCraft money comes from. So that's great. That's great for everybody involved, and I don't see this as a bad thing at all. Psystorm picking up Strange, that is a strange one for me. God, that wasn't even meant to be a joke. Strange isn't somebody who's had a ton of really big results or a lot of notoriety in the scene. It's interesting that they would pick him up at all, but having said that, Psystorm is definitely a team that seems to foster talent. That seems to be their goal. So it's not out of the realm of expectation for Psystorm to pick up Strange, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. Psystorm and Root are both establishing themselves as the front-running StarCraft 2 organizations in North America, and I think they both encounter kind of the same problem. Like I was just talking about Root, they both pick up a lot of players, and they don't necessarily do anything with them. Psystorm's had the Korean NATO for a couple months now, and honestly, I haven't heard a lot from NATO. I haven't heard a lot about NATO. I don't see a lot of people talking about NATO. And there are a number of members of Psystorm that just kind of exist to just practice, see what can happen, go to the LANs. And that's fine, that's good. You need an organization who can bridge that gap from amateur semi-pro play to professional play. A needed thing that is. But I do wonder how many assets are involved when Psystorm picks up a player like Strange or like NATO. I do wonder if maybe that energy can be better spent in another area with another project. I don't know. Maybe Strange is actually secretly the best Protoss that we haven't heard of yet. Maybe he's going to have an amazing run in 2017. I hope so. I'm not trying to diss anybody. I'm not trying to talk shit on Psystorm or on Strange. Good for everybody for making the deal. I just wonder what the goals are for everybody when this deal happens. Now, I know that Ravi is not a player and that Base Trade TV is not a team, but Feardragon leaving Base Trade is pretty substantial news, I think. There was a lot of talk on Reddit about how, of course, he must have left because Rifkin's a dick. Well, it seems on social media that they're still just fine. Feardragon was on the Dank Shrine this week. That was released today, actually. Didn't want to talk too much about the departure. Have no idea what's going on there. But the good news is that hopefully Feardragon can put more time, energy into his own projects. That seems to be his passion anyway. And I do really hope that the departure, that this split was amicable on both sides, because drama's never good, and you never want to see friends split up over some silly business things or, bad blood like that. That's always just unfortunate. That's it for this week, guys. A little bit of a different episode. I put a lot of my own opinion in this one. I don't know how much will stay past the edit. If you like the series, if you like me as a personality, if you like what I do and you want to see more, remember to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with anybody that you think might be interested, and follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and sub here on YouTube. It means a lot, helps a lot. And although there haven't been interviews for this week or the last week, hopefully soon we'll get that back on the go. It's just a matter of getting my own schedule sorted out and scheduling people for interviews. So thanks a lot, guys. Much love. I'll see you next week.